Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you miss any of my future videos. In front of us we have the Hitachi KH-WS1. It's a WorldSpace AM/FM, shortwave, and digital satellite portable radio. I bought this radio off of eBay for a total of $40. May have paid too much, but it was a very unique item. I thought I'd have to have it in my collection. So let's go over dimensions real quick and we'll talk about this radio. So it's 9 1/4 inches across, 6 1/4 inches high, and a depth of 3.5 inches, including the back antenna. Pretty awesome. Let's go size comparison. Pretty much this radio is big, barely fits on the frame here. We'll bring out the little radios, give you an idea. There's the CC pocket. Sure you can get an idea with the width. And then I'll bring out the CC Skywave. Neat how years pass and things get smaller, more compact. There you go. And then of course the Invincible Iron Man, the deck of cards. To give you an idea, again, size comparison. Alright. So Hitachi, yes, it's made in Japan, which I thought was really awesome. WorldSpace, I don't know if you guys know this name or not. I didn't know much about it. It's a digital satellite radio that no longer is able to receive signals. I believe it's deprecated. The satellites no longer operate. If I'm wrong, you guys can chime in below and tell me. But if they do, great. I'll try to set this up and receive, but I haven't found anything with this radio. So we'll talk about all those features. And talk about features, let's go look at the radio itself. You can tell it's kind of beat up. Again, for $40, I was like, what am I getting into? Will it even work when I get it? So it was kind of like one of those little gambles. And I'm kind of glad I did, because it's a really cool addition to my collection. Right away, you can see the clock there, 24-hour mode. So let's go ahead and look at the left side. It's just nothing here, just a black and gray plastic with this metal speaker grill. That is showing some wear, got some dents in it. Name Hitachi on the front here. Speaker, I tried to measure it. I thought it was around 3.5 inches. Then I found in the paperwork, it's a 2.5 inch speaker. So it's a small guy right about here. Doesn't sound too bad, but I thought it was bigger. They have a lot more real estate here, but I think it's saved for the satellite technology. Okay, you saw the LCD. Has a lot of different things it displays. Typically, mostly information for the satellite if you had satellite link up. Let's go look at those buttons. We have quite a few. We have a display time button, key lock button, stereo mono button for FM. We have a reset button there to reset the radio, which pretty much brings it to defaults, erases all your presets. There we have a memory button. If you see, we have some special buttons in orange for the satellite, for satellite mode, entering in your password. Here we have a meter band button. This button is used to scroll through the different bands in the shortwave, and there's 13 of them. Down here we have a direct button and a backspace button. Backspace was for your entering alphanumeric characters to log in on pay satellite channels. Since we don't have that anymore, you can disregard that. But the direct button's nice. You can direct enter frequencies on the AM, FM, or shortwave bands. Up here we have beam seek. That would be for the satellite again. Of course, you can mirror keypad, an enter button to enter in the frequency, or time select. Here we have a radio button, and if you're in the satellite, the World Star, I think it says WS there in gold. Kind of hard to read that in gold. Program type, I believe, language type, so you could search on different programs or by languages, which was kind of nice when they had satellite. Over here we have a sleep function button. It lets you go, I think, 90, 80, 70, all the way down to 10-minute increments down to 0. Here we have an on LED indicator, which is nice. Here we have the on standby button, so power button. Over here we have a tuning. This is kind of cool. It's like a little disc. So you have up and down tuning. And this was for your broadcast channels, up and down, and your service channels, left and right. And these are also to set the clock and to do a couple different functions like setting 9K and 10K. I'll talk about that in a second. But pretty interesting technology. Quick little information about it. This had 3 satellites, I believe. Ameristar, Afristar, and Asiastar. And I believe the Afristar was the most popular. Africa and I think India were like the biggest towards the end as far as subscriber base for this WorldSpace technology. Interesting to note. But yeah, they had 3 satellites, and each satellite had 3 beams, and each beam could broadcast 50 broadcast channels, and each broadcast channel could have 8 service channels. So you can kind of do the math. It was kind of interesting technology back then. So Loving that. WorldSpace digital receiver. Cool. That's kind of the other stuff here. Right hand side, we have a volume slider, which is interesting. We have a line out jack. I haven't tested these. And a headphone jack, which is stereo if you have headphones plugged in there. Here we have the connector for the dish. I'll show that to you in a moment. And here we have it says external terminal. That was for external devices for future upgrades. I don't think it ever got one. Top of the radio, we have a band select switch. You can see it says FM, medium wave, shortwave 1, and shortwave 2. We have an antenna here that extends out to a whopping 32 inches. That was 28 inches. 32 inches, which is awesome. Okay, let's go to the back here. We'll have fun. We'll turn this on and see what we can find as far as on the bands tonight. Let's see the back here. We have a power input, a DC in. Let's see if we can get that on camera. It's a big radio. I got to maneuver it around. 6 volts, it looks like in. There's the polarity. Here's your AC. It did come with an AC cord, which is nice. And this is interesting because if you're a world traveler, you have your different inputs, 220 to 240, and you can change it to 110 or 127. And that cord I got had a factory adapter on it, which was nice, so I could use it to use it on my 110. Here on the back, you can see this WorldSpace. This is your satellite dish, and this would pop open here. This would be like a stand for it, and you would use this to position it. So this gives you an idea of the dish. This is a cool part. And the reason why I bought this radio is because it came with the dish. And a lot of times you see this radio without the dish. And I think there's a function you can use this for in current SDR technology. You guys can let me know again if you've had experience using little dishes like this with an SDR. I'd like to know. I'm just going to open this up some more here. Okay, on the back here we have our battery compartment. Let me go ahead and open that up, show you what's there. We got 4 D batteries. They rate 4 alkaline D batteries at 30 hours. Not very good at power consumption. Probably when you're running this dish is my guess. It's using a lot of power. But without the dish, you probably get a little extra runtime. It's just a guess. Here's this shows the polarity of the batteries if you guys need to know. I don't know how popular this radio is or if you guys are going to buy one. I'm just showing it to you because it's a fun radio and something different to collect. Now the cool thing is this dish is removable. So if you wanted to have your receiver indoors and the antenna outdoors, you could waterproof it with the cable. They give you a little waterproofing tape in the radio kit when you got it. I didn't have the original box, so I never got that. But this unplugs. This is an F-type connector on a 50 ohm connection. And then you hit a little switch here. I'm going to show you that. There's a little gray switch off to the side here, and I believe it is a push. Okay, so I think it's push up and slide it over. And now we remove the antenna, and then you could use an extension cable and run this outside. And they show you with this sitting up, you know, on the table outside and picking up your satellite stations while you're inside enjoying the music. That was kind of cool setup. But yeah, this piece alone I thought was pretty cool tech, and people were using this. And I'll give you some stats on this in a moment. I have a printout that shows you the different frequencies it receives on and what power it uses on the line here, the bias. I'm going to go ahead and just plug this back in. Make sure it's straight. Try to do that on camera. Okay. Now let's go ahead and lock this back in. This just kind of lines up. Let me get this back in on camera here. Okay, there we go. Slides right back in, locks in place. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just flip this back over. On the bottom of the radio, it says Hitachi, and it says Tokyo, Japan on the back of the dish. I don't know if we saw that. It did say made in Japan on the dish itself. Just pretty neat. There's your model number. Okay, and it's a pretty good quality radio. It is heavy, though, with these batteries in here. So let's go ahead and just talk about FM reception. But before I do that, we're going to look at the specs on that antenna, because that's going to come up, and I know a lot of people are going to want to know about that. So I printed this off. I found the manual online. And there it is, the stats on the antenna. It says it's on the L band, and there's the frequency, 1453.384 to 1490.644 megahertz. Again, F-type 50 ohm cable connection, LHCP and RHCP, and those are the voltages, polarization voltage. I'm not really familiar with these terms. If you guys are, let me know. Pretty interesting tech. There's the current that it's needed to run it. So it is a powered amplified antenna. And of course, there's your future expansion external terminal. Okay, I guess I'll show you some band information. FM is 87 to 108. There is no expanded FM band for this radio. It does have 9K or 10K tuning on the medium wave, and it's showing it at 520 to 1620, so it's kind of limited there. Shortwave, they're showing it at 2.3 to 7.3 on the shortwave 1 and 9.5 to 26 on shortwave 2. So there's 13 bands, but they're really short bands, and I'll show you that little in a segment in a moment when we start to tune on shortwave. And I believe this is, I'll show you the rest of these specs. I know this can be boring, but sometimes it's fun. Some people want to know what's up with the radio. So you can pause and read this if you really want to know. That's how I found out it was 2.5 inch, 65 millimeters for the speaker, which I was like, hey, wait a minute. It sounds bigger than 2.5 inches, but sounds good. There you go. Okay. And of course, this side's French. So I'm going to go ahead and put that aside. And let's go ahead and talk about FM reception. Turn this on so we can find on this. So FM reception pretty much surprised me. I had a rating of good. I started at fair, okay, good, very good, and excellent. And typically most radios fall in the okay to good range, which is about 48 to 50 stations found. For this radio to find 66, it shows you that it's a really good sensitive receiver on FM. FM selectivity was not so good. It was around okay to good, probably leaning towards okay. A lot of bleed over. I was having tons of bleed over. But I did notice that most of my stations that were coming in clear were coming in stereo. So then, of course, when I turned it off, it still had the bleed over, even on mono mode. But just to let you know that it's a decent FM receiver, which I was pretty surprised because no longer is a digital receiver. Now it's just FM, medium wave, normal analog receiver. So kind of cool that it still works in that respect. Forward thinking. If the satellites go away, this radio still works. I'm really happy about that. So let's go ahead and turn it on. So on switches here, and then we'll talk about the medium wave too when we get there, and I'll show you about the 9K, 10K switching. So go to the FM.
Catholic Healthcare Ministry, where members share their medical costs in the community.
This radio has memory, but it's not much. FM you get 10, medium wave you get 10, shortwave 1, 5, shortwave 2, 5, so a total of 30 presets on the radio. Not much, but enough.
Yeah, that's my Catholic Healthcare.
I'm going to run a couple minutes on audio check so you get an idea what this thing sounds like.
Spent 4 days with hundreds
The
of
radio
men and
todderbert.
women learning how to...
Pretty simple. Okay, let's go ahead and turn off the MP3 player. I showed you I'm using a C-Crane FM transmitter too, hooked up to an MP3 player, broadcasting YouTube royalty-free music. So this video can be aired to all countries around the world. Okay, I'll turn off the transmitter. Okay, you can hear there's audio behind there.
So the wine, which isn't prohibited in 1215 at the.
So I mentioned the presets. To do frequency, you go up and down. With the FM, you have 50 kilohertz stepping, which is really nice. You can't change it, but it's there. Pretty much the seek is okay. You're pretty much going to have to press and hold where you want to go, but it might find another strong station. I do have the antenna retracted.
Society is a daily reality, and we ought to take moments every once in a while.
See the word locked, and that is saying you're in tune. The key lock actually is a little key. There you go. Also, another nice feature with this radio, shows you the frequency all the time, and you can hit this to get the time. So there you go, and you can set that to UTC if you want, if you're on shortwave. Set it, hit it again, you got the timer on, so that's kind of nice. You can actually set the radio to turn on, especially if you're recording something. You can have it turn on. And record it. So that gives you a basic idea on the FM. Let's go ahead and switch over to the medium wave. And interesting about medium wave, when I got this radio, it was set on 9K, and I thought I was in trouble because it's an international radio. I did not think it would have a setting to go to 10K, but there is an option. And in the instructions, I'll just tell you, I won't show you because it does erase all my presets, and I have them set up right now and I like them. So what you do, use these two keys, SC down and SC up. That's your service channel up, service channel down. They have secondary functions. So when the radio is off, you hold down SC down and hit this power button. And when you let go, it'll go to 522. You have to make sure you're on medium wave when you have the radio off. And it'll go to 9K. And you want to go back to 10K, make sure the radio's off, and hold down the SC up button, or control, and then turn the radio on, and it'll go back to 10K. Just remember, every time you do that, it does erase your presets. Not a big deal because you only have 10 of them. But I didn't want to re-enter them. Oh, and it also resets the clock. For some reason, you got to reset the clock again. So thought I'd give you guys a heads up on that. Let's go. We're going to cruise through the medium wave band, see what's out there. And then I'll show you the shortwave and how it's structured, and we'll do a little bit of that. So let's go ahead and just jump on here. Medium wave. Turn this up, make sure everything's off, making noise. We'll just click, go up and down this way. It does 10 kilohertz steps. There's no 1K stepping. And there is no bandwidth filters.
Today.
And
Well, what other intent would there be to
I'm going to go fairly quick because I'm going to do some full band scans during the day and in the evening to show you what it's capable of. We're just going to kind of scroll up, give you an idea of audio quality on the medium wave band. It does great.
Kaiser Toyota has amazing May deals all month long. Samantha, can you tell us about it?
I'd love to, Steve.
Actually, it's Piatone 640. So pick that up in Indiana. Cool. I feel like I'm in a Mexican restaurant. Oops, sorry.
Corn. Yeah? Yeah, weakness for it. I can see that. Love it. The guy who ends the meeting every
WCR, the score, Chicago.
I gotta have a Slurpee. Let's go over the sound library for today's showgram.
SMITHE.com. Make Sundays your official night.
Press and hold.
Yeah, it's every 10 minutes on News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM.
For the rest of this afternoon, sun and clouds, still a chance for showers and thunderstorms.
WBBM Chicago.
Through early this evening. Then partly cloudy overnight, a low of 58. Then tomorrow, sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warmer with a high of 82. Right now, 77 at O'Hare, 67 Lakefront.
Okay, 850. It's local, Crystal Lake. I think it's WAIT. I'm trying to remember all these. Yep, WAIT. This radio will pick up distant daytime stations with a loop. Helps.
Has heard the stories of people who say he's getting in their space. It's always a good indicator for your campaign when your wife has
WLS Chicago.
to say that
Don't worry, you've heard messages about being too grabby.
Get the gross stats, and I get there have been some explosive games, but it does feel like early in NBA Finals series.
920, we're at Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Big Badger. Let's just go up to 1,000.
Just $25.97 at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
It's the ESPN channel, WMVP in Chicago. I listen to it a lot. Very enjoyable.
Afternoons from 2 to 6 on ESPN Chicago.
Nick Senzel and some.
Okay, let's just cruise on up the dial here. Like I said, we'll do a full scan later.
For a major life decision, you read article after article and try to combine all the information into one good strategy for your unique situation.
This is a Christian radio station, 1160 WYLL.
Would you listen? That show is right
Excuse me.
here on AM 1160. Good to know with Liz Goodchild every Saturday afternoon at 1. Liz welcomes you to talk
And
with
the
her
squirrel.
team of experts.
Nice. Always nice to have some music there. I usually listen to it quite a bit. WRTO Chicago. Just gonna kind of hold this. We'll go to the top of the band so we can hear up there. 1380, some music. WBEL, South Beloit, Illinois. Nice to hear that too. It's WGRB, Chicago. Yeah, good song by Donovan there. Love it. Yeah, nothing like the Mellow Yellow. Yeah, loving it. WRJN, Racine, Wisconsin.
In Mexico. And that is like a $900 value, and that's going for $450. All right, so the first person who wants this, it's good through December 20th of this year. And
Me.
December
I love this stuff.
Next year, so plenty of time to use this up. All right, we got to take a short...
Hey guys, comment below if you have a channel like this where they sell stuff on the radio. I just love it. Never knew it existed until I started playing with the AM dial here. It's amazing. Alright, we're going to go up to the Iron Country. It's music. It's like it said, that's WGEZ, Beloit, Wisconsin. Okay, let's go to the top of the band. It goes 1620 and stops. So we have a hazardous road. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and shift over to the shortwave. And we're going to go to shortwave 2 because I don't think I'm going to find much on shortwave 1. So let's go ahead and do that. And we are going to hook up a wire because inside here it doesn't do very well. But very sensitive when I hook up a little wire. This is just a PL380 wire hooked up to in my window blinds inside the house. Just kind of strung up in the window. Just get a little extra reception. See what I can do here is clip this on. Oh, shortwave 2. I found a few stations earlier. We'll see if they're still broadcasting. Set this back down. There we go. Turn this up. Now you can run a search by pressing up and holding. But I found this radio picks up static pretty easily and stops.
El régimen se queda con más del 85% del sueldo de los médicos en misión, una forma de esclavitud.
I don't know how much it's going to take to search. Just going to find a few stations. Here's the chart that shows the frequency for the bands. Now it's cut up in little segments. There's 13 of them. You can kind of pause and read. That gives you an idea what coverage this radio has. It's not a lot. It's like missing quite a bit. Kind of a little upsetting, but I may get some Cuban stations there. I can get some kind of signals. I think those were some of the stations I found earlier. But yeah, it's cut up in those really small segments there. Sounds like we're getting some keeping stations. We are during the day. You saw the time. It is 4:32 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. I can hit the clock button too when it stops. And we'll run it for a little bit, then we'll do final thoughts on the radio. Here's your time. Again, I could add 5 hours to that, be 21:33 UTC. Run it up, see if it finds anything. Again, heavy static tends to stop. See if we can find anything here. And yeah, pretty cool. Enjoying this radio. Just kind of a cool collectible. Enjoying the fact that it's made in Japan. Seems like what's pretty solidly built. And the fact that I might be able to use that back antenna for something. I'm not sure yet. I need some information that maybe some of you guys can provide watching this. So, okay, let's see. I'm going to stop the search. I had some presets here. Okay, so it seemed to be off. All right, just to get an idea. But yeah, I was picking up 17. I picked that up earlier. So I picked up something out there, and that was really nice. I got to look it up, find out what it was. And if I find it out, I'll post it right here. What station I was listening to there and where it was. Kind of cool to find something up on top of the band like that. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and clip this and do some final thoughts on this radio. Yeah. Turn this off. Okay, the Hitachi WorldSpace digital receiver KH-WS1. Should you go buy this? Probably not. I mean, save your money. Might want to get one like a Skywave, or if that's too rich for your blood. This is a great little shortwave receiver. Get a Radio Wow R108 or the variety of Texans out there. If you want shortwave, what do I have laying around here? Do I have anything? I think I do. Yeah. Here's one I keep handy. My PL380. I use this for a lot of medium wave listening, but also shortwave. So yeah, there's quite a few options out there for you. You don't need to buy this radio, but I bought it because it was hitting the thing here. I bought it because it was interesting, because of what it can still do, which surprises me, and what it did. And it's just kind of a fun, cool thing to put on the shelf, and people go, "What is that? Never seen that kind of radio." And I could say, "Yeah, it's one of those first digital radios, for WorldSpace." So kind of neat stuff. So if you enjoyed the feature presentation of the Hitachi KH-WS1 WorldSpace digital receiver, please give me a big like. You guys are awesome. Always like to show you what's out there you can find in the wild and might want to pick up just because it still has function as an AM, a decent AM receiver, by the way, and okay shortwave and decent FM. So definitely worth it. If you like Hitachi radios, I will try to find more. They're not so common. I actually like the ones made in Japan. Those are the ones I look for. Hit subscribe at the bell icon. I will try to locate those. And if those pop up, you can watch those videos. And 3, of course, comment below what you think about the Hitachi WorldSpace digital receiver. Did you used to have one? Do you have this exact radio? Do you have a radio like this and you used to use it? Give me some information, some stories. I'd like to know about this and how much fun you had with it. And also if you did anything with that back antenna, being that's removable and usable on other devices. If you need to know what can be utilized with this still. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next episode. Take care, and goodbye.